The snowstorm howled like a beast in the night. Eli tightened the fur-lined hood over his head and checked the small fire again. The wind was strong, but the flame still burned. He had made a shelter from metal sheets and broken ship parts. It wasn't perfect, but it kept the cold out for now. He was alone on this frozen planet, far from any colony. His mission had failed. His ship had crashed during a storm, and help would not come for at least a week. But Eli was used to being alone. He had survived worse. He sat near the fire, his eyes half closed, when he heard something of faint sound. A cry? A whisper? He stood quickly, pulling his gloves tight. His hand went to the laser pistol at his side. The sound came again closer now. Weak, afraid. Eli stepped into the white darkness. Is someone there? He shouted, but the wind stole his words. Then he saw them. 2 figures, half covered in snow, small, thin, shaking. Their skin was a pale purple, with soft glowing lines running along their arms. Not human. Aliens. He ran to them, heart pounding. Both were unconscious. Their skin was ice cold, lips blue. One had her arm around the other, as if trying to protect her sister with her own dying body. Eli didn't think. He lifted them one by one, carrying them back to his shelter. They were light, too light, almost like children, but their faces were older, almost his age. Inside, he laid them down near the fire, covering them with his only heat blanket. He opened a ration pack and poured a warm liquid into a cup. Then he waited. Minutes passed. Then one of them, the one with long silver hair, moved slightly. Her lips trembled. Eli leaned close. It's okay. You're safe now. She opened her eyes. They glowed soft blue in the firelight. She stared at him, confused, scared, but then her expression softened. Her voice was quiet, cracked like dry leaves. You, fire. You were freezing, Eli said. I had to help. Her hand reached out slowly and grabbed his wrist. Her fingers were cold, but the grip was strong. She whispered something in her language. He didn't understand, but her tone was clear. She was thankful and afraid. The second sister woke next. She looked similar, but her eyes were golden, not blue. She pulled herself up and shielded her sister, placing her body between Eli and her. Easy, Eli said, raising his hands. I'm not your enemy. The golden-eyed one looked around. Her voice was stronger. Where is this place? You're safe, Eli said again. My camp. I found you in the snow. There was silence. Only the fire crackled. Then the silver-haired girl spoke. I am Raya. This is my sister, Solon. Eli nodded. I'm Eli. I'm just a human. They looked at each other. Then at him. You gave us fire, Solon said. You gave us life, Raya whispered. I just didn't want you to die, Eli replied. Solon looked at the small camp. You risked your own warmth. You had only one blanket. I couldn't let you freeze out there. The sisters exchanged a long look. Something unspoken passed between them. Solon finally said, Our people would not have done the same. Raya leaned closer to the fire. You don't know who we are. Why would you save us? Eli looked into the flame. Because you're alive, and that's enough reason. The sisters were silent again. Outside, the storm still screamed. But inside, a new warmth had begun, not just from the fire, but from something deeper. Suddenly, Raya whispered again, this time clearer. Eli, he turned sharply. How do you know my name? She blinked, confused. You told me? No, I didn't. Solon sat upright. Raya, how? I saw it, she said softly. When he held me, I saw it in his heart. Eli's breath caught. What did that mean? The fire cracked softly in the small metal shelter. Eli sat near the two. alien sisters, watching them as they rested. The storm outside had grown worse. Thick snow blocked the entrance. Cold wind howled through small gaps in the walls. But inside, something strange had happened. The cold hadn't killed them. Instead, it had brought them together. Raya, the silver-haired sister, still looked weak. Her eyes closed and opened slowly, like she was dreaming with her eyes half open. But she kept watching Eli like she was studying him. Solon, her golden-eyed sister, sat close beside her. Unlike Raya, Solon's body was stronger. She moved carefully, but her eyes were sharp. Alert. Eli offered them warm broth from his emergency food pack. "It's not great," he said, "but it helps." Raya smiled weakly and took the cup. Solon sniffed it first, then drank from her own. "I've never tasted anything like this," Solon said. "It's strange, but warm. Human food," Eli said with a small laugh. Solon tilted her head. "You are different from what we were taught." Eli raised an eyebrow. "Taught?" "Yes. Back home, we were told humans were violent, cold, selfish." Eli looked at the fire. "Some are, but not all." Raya leaned her head against Solon's shoulder. "You're not like the stories. You're kind." Eli nodded, unsure of what to say. These sisters had almost died in the storm, and now they sat beside him like two ghosts made of light and cold. He finally asked, "What happened to you? Why were you out there in the snow?" The firelight danced across their faces. Their skin shimmered faintly, like thin crystals. Under the surface, Solon's voice was quiet. "We were left behind." "By who?" "Our people. Our clan." Eli waited. "They said we were not strong enough to continue the journey," Solon said with bitterness in her tone. "They left us, told us it was better to die than slow them down." Eli clenched his jaw. "That's cruel." "It is." "How they survive," Solon said coldly. "No weaklings." Raya reached out and touched Eli's hand softly. "But you," she paused, looking into his eyes, "you stayed. For strangers, you gave us heat, life." Eli didn't know what to say. No one had looked at him like that before. Raya added, "You even risked your last fire brick. We saw you throw it in before we woke." Solon looked at him seriously. "That was your only one, wasn't it?" Eli gave a half smile. "Yeah, it was." Silence again. The wind screamed outside, but the warmth between them grew. "You shouldn't have done that," Solon whispered. "That was foolish." "Maybe," Eli said, "but I'd do it again." Solon stared at him for a long time. "Why?" Eli met her eyes. "Because you're alive. Because no one deserves to freeze to death. Not even aliens." Raya looked at Solon. "Sister, you feel it too, don't you?" Solon hesitated. "What?" "The bond," Raya whispered. "It started when he held us near the fire." Eli looked between them, confused. "What bond?" Raya answered slowly. "When someone gives life in our time of death, something ancient begins. Something sacred. A connection." Solon added, "We do not choose it. It chooses us." Eli shook his head. "Wait, what are you saying?" Solon stood slowly and faced him. "Our kind has old traditions. Very old. If one saves two sisters with fire and warmth, then they both owe him not just their lives, but their loyalty." Raya's voice was gentle, and sometimes their hearts. Eli blinked. "That's a bit much." Raya smiled. "You gave freely. That means you're worthy. The bond sees you." Solon looked uncertain. "But it's too fast. We don't know him. He doesn't know us." Eli raised his hands. "I'm not asking for anything. I just wanted to help." Solon nodded. "And that's why the bond is forming." And something outside made them all freeze. A soft mechanical whirring. Eli. moved toward the door, pulling a scanner from his bag. The red light flashed. A drone was nearby. They found us, Solon whispered, her eyes filled with fear. Who? Eli asked. Raya's face went pale. The same people who left us. They don't want us rescued. If they know we're alive, they'll come back to finish it. Eli looked at the sisters. Then he looked at the fire. Then at the storm still raging. He had survived battles. He had faced cold monsters and loneliness. But this was different. He stood and checked his weapon. If they're coming, he said, then they'll have to go through me. Solon stared at him with wide eyes. Why would you fight for us? Eli answered calmly, because you're not alone anymore. The wind outside finally began to slow. The storm was ending, but inside the small shelter, the real danger had just begun. Eli stood at the entrance, watching the glowing scanner in his hand. The red dots were moving slowly closer to his location. Machines, drones, maybe soldiers. They're scanning the area, he said. Looking for heat. Solon stood beside him, her arms crossed. They must have picked up the firelight. Raya sat near the heater, still pale but awake. They always watch, even when we think we are forgotten. Eli looked at both of them. Tell me, who are they? And why would they want to kill you after leaving you to die? Solon's eyes narrowed. They are our own. Eli was silent. Raya said softly, we were born into the high bloodline of the Eleran Sisters Order, a royal family. But there were secrets. Solon picked up the story. We were not like the others. Our blood carried something old, something unstable. Some wanted to use it. We were told we were cursed, Raya whispered. Not fit for leadership, not even fit to live. They exiled us, Solon said sharply. Left us on this frozen planet, alone. They called it mercy. Eli frowned. Mercy? That's not mercy. No, Solon agreed. It's politics. Eli paced the small space, thinking. And now that you survived, they're afraid others will know the truth. Raya nodded. Yes, and they will. Not allow that. If they learn we live, they will erase us. And anyone who helped us. Eli stared at the scanner again. More dots now. 3, no 4. They're getting closer, he said. We need to move, now. But where? Solon asked. This world is snow and ice. Eli opened his old map tablet and zoomed in. There's a cave system east of. Here. I saw it during scouting. It might go deep enough to hide us. Raya tried to stand, but wobbled. Solon quickly helped her. Eli reached into his bag and pulled out a heat core. He tossed it to Solon. Keep that close to her chest. It'll buy us time. Solon looked at the small glowing device. Why are you doing this? Eli paused. Because I've been left behind too. I know how it feels. The sisters didn't speak, but their eyes softened. They packed what little they had. Eli helped wrap Raya in a thick blanket, then lifted her into his arms. You don't have to carry me, Raya said softly. Eli smiled. Yes, I do. You're part of my crew now. Solon followed close behind, scanning the skies. They moved through the snow, the wind biting their skin. The footprints vanished behind them as snowflakes filled the trail. Above, strange lights flickered in the sky drones still circling. After almost 2 hours, they reached a cliff wall. A black hole in the stone waited the mouth of the cave. Inside. The cave was silent and cold, but shielded from the storm. Eli set Raya down carefully and built a small fire. Solon explored deeper inside, while Raya rested. Minutes later, she returned. The tunnels go deep. I found markings, Eleran symbols. They've been here before, Eli asked. Solen nodded. Yes, this cave was once used by outcasts. We're not the first. Raya leaned her head against the wall. We may be the last. Eli handed her water. Not if I can help it. Then something strange happened. As the fire grew stronger, the walls around them began to glow faintly. Lines and symbols lit up with blue and gold light. Ancient writing. Forgotten energy. Raya and Solon both looked shocked. This place? It remembers us, Raya said. Our blood activates it. Suddenly, a voice echoed from the tunnel behind them. There is no place you can hide from the Order, not even here. Eli grabbed his pistol and stepped in front of the sisters. Out of the darkness, a tall figure appeared. His armor was sleek, black and humming with green light. An Alaran hunter. Solon stepped forward, her voice cold. We are no longer yours to hunt. You were never yours to save, the hunter said, staring at Eli. You're just a human. Weak, useless. Eli didn't blink. You'll find I'm a lot harder to kill than I look, the hunter smiled. Then let's test that theory. The Alaran hunter stepped into the firelight, his tall body shining with cold armor. His green visor glowed. Like a predator in the dark, Eli didn't flinch. He aimed his pistol, steady and sure. Step away, Eli warned, or I drop you. The hunter laughed, a low, chilling sound. A human with a toy weapon? You think you can protect royal trash? Solon stood beside Eli now. Her body was tense, her fingers glowing slightly at the tips. She didn't speak, but her golden eyes were filled with fire. You shouldn't have come, she said. The hunter raised a small device and threw it to the ground. It exploded with smoke and sparks. Run, Eli shouted. Solon grabbed Raya. Eli fired 2 quick shots to cover them as they rushed into the deeper cave. The hunter followed. The cave twisted and dropped. Ice hung from the walls, and the ground was slippery. The sisters ran ahead while Eli kept turning back, covering them with short blasts. But the hunter was fast, and he wasn't alone. Another drone zipped in from a hole above, scanning, shooting red beams. It hit the wall near Eli, blasting a chunk of stone. Solon screamed, "Left tunnel!" They dove into the side passage. The light faded behind them. Cold returned. No fire, no safety. Just the sound of breathing and distant footsteps. Raya collapsed against the wall. I can't. Keep moving, she said, voice shaking. Eli lifted her again. You don't have to. The tunnel opened into a larger chamber, high ceiling, dark water pools, glowing crystals. Eli lowered Raya beside a rock and turned to Solon. We need a plan. Solon touched one of the glowing crystals. These caves were used by exiles. Before, there's an escape tunnel at the bottom, but it's dangerous, full of ice drops. One mistake, and we fall forever. Eli nodded. We don't have a choice. Raya weakly reached out. Wait. She touched the crystal. Her eyes lit up blue. The room began to hum. A hidden door slid open in the rock behind them. Solon's eyes widened. She's awakening it. Eli stared. How? Our blood, Solon whispered. The energy here responds to us. But there was no time to ask more. The hunter's voice echoed again, closer now. I hear your heartbeats. Solon turned, her body tense. I'll stop him. You take Raya and run. Eli shook his head. No, we do this together. Raya opened her eyes. There's another way. What do you mean? Eli asked. She struggled to sit. We can combine our energy. Just for one burst, enough to blind him. You're too weak, Solon said. You'll die. Better that than being hunted like animals, Raya replied. Eli stepped between them. Nobody dies today. He reached out both hands, one to each sister. Use my strength, he said. If this bond is real, then I give it freely. Solon hesitated, then nodded. They held hands, all three, Blue and gold light spread from their skin, twisting, mixing a pulse of living energy. The cave exploded with light. The hunter rushed in and was blinded. He screamed, dropping his weapon. Sparks flew from his armor. "Now!" Eli shouted. They ran through the new tunnel. Behind them, the hunter staggered, screaming in anger. The path turned icy, steep, and dangerous. Frozen stairs led downward, slick and narrow. Eli carried Raya carefully, while Solon lit the way with soft light from her hands. They didn't speak, only moved. After many minutes, the tunnel opened into daylight. A new world. Endless snowy plains. Spread beyond the cave, but far on the horizon, an old outpost tower stood like a shadow against the sky. "A research station," Eli said. "We may be able to call for help there." Solon turned. "He won't stop." "No," Eli said. "But now we're not just running. We're surviving." He looked at Raya, then at Solon. "You're not alone anymore." "And neither am I." The wind was calm now. The blizzard had passed, but the cold still bit deep. Eli, Solon, and Raya moved across the snowy plains, heading toward the old research station. It stood like a lonely tower in the distance, dark and silent. The sun was weak in the sky, casting long shadows. They were safe for now. Inside the abandoned outpost, Eli found a small room with working heaters. The walls were cracked, and the place smelled of rust and dust. But it was dry, warm, quiet. He laid Raya gently on the bed, placing another blanket over her. She was awake, but tired. Her body was weak from using her energy. Solon stood near the door, arms crossed, guarding the entrance. Her golden eyes never stopped moving. Eli checked the comms panel. It blinked with old power, but no signal. "Maybe we can boost it tomorrow," he said. "If the storm's passed, someone might pick it up." Solon didn't answer. He looked at her. "You okay?" She nodded slowly. "Yes, just watching." He moved beside her. "You think the hunter will follow?" "Yes," she said. "They always do. But I'm not only thinking of him." "What then?" Solon looked at Raya sleeping peacefully now. Then she turned to Eli. "We're not human," she said, "but we feel, we care, and we choose." Eli frowned slightly. "Choose what?" "You." Eli froze. Solon continued. "Raya loves you. I see it in her eyes. I feel it in the bond. But I feel something too." She stepped closer. "You're brave, kind. You gave us warmth when we were nothing but dying strangers. I've never met anyone like you." Eli looked down. His hands were shaking. "I wasn't trying to. I didn't mean for this to happen." "I know," Solon whispered. "But the bond has grown. For both of us." Raya stirred on the bed and opened her eyes. "Solon?" The golden-eyed sister stepped back, her face unreadable. Raya sat up slowly. "I heard you." Eli turned toward her. "You should rest." "No," Raya said. "Not now. I need to say it." She looked at Solon, then at Eli. "I love you too." Eli's heart skipped a beat. "This is impossible," he said. "I'm just one man." "You're sisters." "We know," Solon said. "But our kind was never normal, never accepted. Maybe love is our way to take back control." Raya's eyes shimmered. "We were born cursed, left to die. But you gave us life. Your fire didn't just save us. It awakened something new." Solon looked down. "But our people have laws. Only one bond. Only one heart." Raya reached for Eli's hand. "Then let that heart choose." Eli stood still, breath heavy. "I didn't come here to find love," he said. "I just wanted to survive." "But we survived together," Solon replied. Eli looked at both of them. Their faces were soft, open, full of trust. He remembered the moment he carried them through the snow, the moment they whispered his name near the fire, The moment they stood with him against Death Dot, his voice cracked. I care for both of you. Raya smiled. We know. But I don't know if I can choose, he said. Solon took his hand gently. Then don't choose now. Just stay. Just be with us. Until this fight is over. Raya nodded. Let your heart decide, not fear. Then the base's warning light blinked red. Something was moving outside. Eli jumped to the panel. The scanner flashed heat signatures. 2, maybe 3. Not drones. Bigger. They found us, he said. Solon stood fast. Then we fight. Raya rose slowly. Together. Eli grabbed his rifle. This time, we don't run. We make our stand. As the shadows moved closer to the station walls, the three stood side by side, no longer victims, no longer strangers. They were bonded, not by blood, but by fire. The outpost shook. Snow fell from the ceiling beams. Red warning lights flashed. The scanner beeped louder now they were surrounded. Eli loaded his rifle. Solon armed her energy blade. Raya stood behind. Them, weak but awake, her hands glowing faintly with soft blue light. They're almost here, Eli said. Solon nodded. We fight. We protect each other. Raya placed her hand on his shoulder. If we fall today, we fall as one. Eli looked at them, both two alien sisters he should have never met. Yet now, he couldn't imagine leaving them behind. He had come to this world alone. Now, he wasn't alone anymore. Then the door burst open. The Alaran hunter stepped in, flanked by 2 more armored soldiers. His armor had new burn marks from their last encounter, but his hatred had only grown. You ran far, the hunter said coldly. But the hunt ends now. Solon moved forward, blade ready. Then let it end. The hunter raised his hand. No, first he dies. You both watch. He pointed at Eli, but Raya stepped between them, glowing now from head to toe. Her skin lit up with shimmering blue lines. No, she said. We're not afraid anymore. The hunter laughed. You're weak. Both of you. Eli raised his rifle. They're stronger than you'll ever be. You're just a human, the hunter hissed. Eli smiled. Exactly. And humans don't die easy. He fired. The shot hit one of the soldiers, knocking him back. Solon dashed in, spinning with her energy blade, striking fast and precise. Sparks flew. The second soldier collapsed, but the hunter moved fast. Too fast. He grabbed Eli and slammed him into the wall. You think you matter? He growled. You're just a flame in the wind. Eli gasped, blood in his mouth. Then why are you trying so hard to put it out? Suddenly light exploded in the room. Raya screamed, and her body burst into glowing fire blue and bright. So powerful the walls shook. OLE and joined her, golden light rising from her hands. Their energies met in the air, swirling into a storm. The hunter turned, shielding his eyes. What is this? Raya and Solon's voices echoed together, ancient and powerful. We are the flames reborn. We are not cursed. We are chosen. Their light struck the hunter. His armor cracked. Sparks flew. He dropped to his knees, gasping. Then the flames pulled back. Raya collapsed. Solon caught her. Eli ran to them. The hunter, barely alive, looked up one last time. 2 hearts, 1 bond. It's impossible. Eli stood over him. That's what makes it real. Then the hunter fell silent and defeated. The red lights stopped flashing. The scanners went quiet. It was over. Later, inside the warm outpost, the 3 sat beside a real fire. Eli wrapped bandages around Raya's arms. Solon sat close, watching quietly. You saved me, Eli said. Raya smiled weakly. You saved us first. Solon added, now we're even. He looked at both of them. No, we're not. Raya tilted her head. Why? Eli took a breath. Because I don't want to leave either of you. Solon whispered, then stay. Eli smiled. I will. Raya rested her head on his shoulder. What happens now? Eli looked out the window. The snow had stopped. A faint sunrise painted the horizon with gold. Now, he said, now we build something new. Together. The end.